All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in this truth. I'm Pathakamoth, GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. Something came through my feed, earlier today. Actually, when I was, it was like earlier, I was asleep. And I don't know, I woke up and something told me, looked at my phone, and I saw this article going into a supercomputer, figuring out the end of basically the end of life on Earth. And I went back in my feed later to try to, immediately scripture started hitting me. So I start, saving some of the scriptures that was hitting me to do a lesson on it, and when I came back, I couldn't find the little article, so I kind of remembered it. So I typed it in the best I could remember, and this is what it was. It came up, and it was going into a supercomputer, basically figuring out the end of the world, or figuring out when the end of life on Earth will come, basically. You know what I'm saying? And which is not biblical, man. You know what I'm saying? And this whole AI thing, this technology, it's a spirit, man. A left-hand spirit is dealing, you know what I'm saying? Which of course we know that because the left hand is dealing with Esau, and this is his madness, man. You know what I'm saying? And but it just going to show the Lord is not dealing like that with the left hand because they're limited, in the things that they know, that the knowledge. Esau would say the same thing, which this is his this AI and all this technology. This is his. He would say the same thing, that the earth has an end, and of course we expect that, because he doesn't want his fate. He's trying to avoid his fate, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but that's what he would put out. So in his AI, the technology, this AI is doing the same thing, man. And I typed it in, and it says. According to an April 2025 article in La Grada, a group of scientists used a supercomputer to determine that survival on planet Earth will be impossible in about 1 billion years. Listen to that. Man, 1 billion years we'll be in the kingdom of heaven, which is eternal. You know what I'm saying? There is no end to the kingdom of heaven, man. You know what I'm saying? So come on, bro. It's all BS and nonsense. It says when conditions become too extreme for life as we know it. And that's not going to happen, man. And again, scriptures say something totally different. So I want to jump down real quick, and there's some different excerpts of on this topic. It says, Boy Genius report: a supercomputer figured out when all life on Earth will end. It says the Times of India. It says this is when life will end on Earth, as per a supercomputer. WKRC. NASA has used a supercomputer to learn when all life on Earth will end. What's that? Sci-fi. It says, did a supercomputer predict the end of humanity? You know what I'm saying? So these are just some of the stories you can pull it up, go into them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going into that whole thing. What's this? Unilad Tech supercomputer predicts world will end with triple whammy extinct events. And it goes back to times of India, just different things going into the whole thing on the little article that came across my feed. So I decided to just do a little video on it. You know what I'm saying? A little quick hit video, Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna entitle the video that I'm gonna do, "All Life on Earth Will Not End, Thus Saith the Lord," man. You know what I'm saying? All life on Earth will not end, thus saith the Lord, man. First of all, in this movie that we're in, reincarnation is a prime part of that. So if things come back, back in the flesh, reincarnate back in the flesh. So how are you gonna, if things come back, how is things gonna come to an end? I know they always try to say that, like it said, extreme events or extreme extinct events. They think the earth is going to go into the sun or some meteor, too much of movies, Hollywood, man. You know what I'm saying? With that movie Armageddon, You know what I'm saying? Where the giant meteor was about to destroy the earth. That's not going to happen, man. That's a movie, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not written. That's not written in the scriptures. As a matter of fact, let's just get into it real quick. You know what I'm saying? And we'll let the scripture speak. The Lord said what's going to be, man. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, all life is not going to end. So this is Ecclesiastes. Thus saith the Lord. Ecclesiastes. Come on, man. Went over to Matthew in the New Testament. I'm in the Old. Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter. And we're going to drop all the way down to the last verse. It's Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people. Did you hear that? I don't care what the supercomputer says. I don't care what Esau says. I don't care what they think. The Lord is speaking here. Ecclesiastes 4:16. You know, this is the preacher, man. Solomon, you know what I'm saying, which in an incarnation is Yahweh Shai, which is the son of the Most High Yahweh, man, if you can receive that. This is Ecclesiastes 4:16, and this is what he said. There is no end of all the people. So the people are not going to end, man. There is no end coming to the people, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care in a billion years or whatever you think, but like I said, in a billion years, we'll be in the kingdom of heaven, which is eternal, you know, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of the spirit. So, or of spirit. So like it. But the point is there is no end of all the people, man. The people are not going to end. You know what I'm saying? And you expect that coming from the opposition, man. You know what I'm saying? The opposition will tell you that things are going to end. You know, Esau via his technology, the same thing. Now don't get it twisted. On the other hand, this technology is exposing these dudes, man. You know, like recently a brother put a video, article or a video or something. I can't remember which one it was. I didn't watch it, but I know, as a matter of fact, it was an excerpt from an AI overview, and it's basically saying that the so-called white man is Esau. So his own technology in certain areas is telling on this nigga, exposing him, you know, letting it be known that he's dirty Edomites. But then you got, you know, in other areas that where the Lord is not giving it to Esau. Therefore, his technology is not going to have it's the same spirit on the left hand, you know, that limited knowledge and understanding. You know, they can't break down, AI can't break down the scriptures the right way. You're going to have to go to the prophets. You know what I'm saying? It's saying, you know, they're saying that the earth is going to end, man, you know, which is not biblical. It's not written. You know, that's not the spirit of the Lord. That's the spirit of the left hand, man. You know what I'm saying? Which makes perfect sense, you know. So there is no end of all the people, you know what I'm saying, which is coming from the opposition. As a matter of fact, real quick, let's do this real quick because I had this pulled up. Opposition definition. And let's just go into this real quick. Turn my volume up, Salakia.
Opposition.
So here's the definition of opposition. It says a noun, resistance or dissent expressed in action or argument. If you look at the next thing, where is it at? Right under the similar right there, it says a group of adversaries. Boom. What is Esau? The adversary of the Most High, which he's the spawn of his basically is his God, which is Satan, man. You know what I'm saying? Adverse, you know, he's adverse, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is the spirit of the left hand, man. You know? And it says noun, the opposition, the principal political party opposed to one in office. So it's just going in, giving a definition, but basically a group of adversaries was the point, you know what I'm saying? Which is Esau, man, you know? So of course his technology is going to have that same spirit, man. You know, that's the left hand, the adversaries. And the adversary, which is Satan, you know what I'm saying? He's adverse, you know, to the Lord. So if the Lord says for eternity or forever, there's no end, this devil, which is adverse, the Satan, you know, is going to say there's an end. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So, which is opposition. That's what we typed in. Opposite, you know what I'm saying? To be opposed. You know, so that's what's going on here, man. So, real quick, because the Lord says, let's stay in Ecclesiastes, and we're going to go to the first chapter, and we're going to read verse 4, because the Lord said that he's not going to destroy the earth, and he created the earth to be inhabited. So real quick, this is Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So they keep saying that extinct events and the earth is going, basically that some things are going to happen in the earth or to the earth that's going to destroy humanity, and all life as we know it is going to end, which that's not what we're reading right here. The earth abideth forever. It says Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, one generation passed away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So the earth is forever. If the earth is forever, then the people are. We just read there's no end to the people, but he created also the earth to be inhabited. So let's get that real quick in Isaiah, the 45th chapter, and we're going to drop down to verse 18. This is Isaiah 45 and 18, and it reads, For thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. And I am Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and there is none else. So he created the earth to be inhabited. The earth abideth forever. So that means it's going to forever be inhabited. There is no end to the people. These are all the things that the Lord is telling you. But you got Esau and his technology that'll tell you. And then those dates, man, 1 billion years. Come on, bro, stop, man. 1 billion years, the earth is still going to be here. And in that time, the Israelites are going to still be ruling, because it's an eternal rule once they get put in power, man, back and set up. You know what I'm saying? And since I said that this is the setup, that we're currently in is based on reincarnation, man. So how are you going, if things come back, reincarnate back in the flesh, if things come how is life going to cease? Come on, bro. It don't add up. It don't make sense, but most of these people don't believe in reincarnation. Esau doesn't believe in it. It tells you that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. You know what I'm saying? It says the ungodly, they don't believe in reincarnation, man. No, they don't think anyone has returned from the grave. All right. But hey, it is what it is. And but the kingdom of heaven is eternal, and it's going to be right here on earth. So if the kingdom of heaven is eternal, it's going to be here on earth. That also means that life cannot come to an end because, hello, it's eternal. It's an eternal kingdom, which is going to be right here on the earth. So real quick, let's prove some reincarnation real quick. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 again. We're going to drop down to verse 9 now. And it reads, The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So what is that thing real quick? Let's jump over to verse chapter 6, and we're going to jump down to verse 10, and it reads, That which hath been, which is what we just read in Ecclesiastes, the first chapter in verse 9, the thing that hath been, that which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man. Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he. So the thing that hath been is talking about man. So let's go back and read it in context now. Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 9 again. The man that hath been is that which shall be. If you had been and you shall be, that means reincarnation. You're coming back. Same man had been and he's going to be. And that which is done, whatever he did, is that which shall be done. He's going to do again. And there is no new thing, no new man under the sun. So there it is, man. That's reincarnation all day long, right here in the scriptures. Salakia. Let's jump over to chapter 3 now. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 15. And it reads, That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. Yeah, same people, same things. And the Most High required that which is past, and that's exactly why. Because you pay for your past lives, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why when the scriptures say in Revelations, the 13th chapter in verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. It's not, bro, you can count that. You know, there's no contradictions. The Bible says what it says, but because of the reincarnation makes that make sense. Because George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, all them devils from back in the day, you know, that all of them has passed away. How are they going to go in, you know, because it says he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. How are they going to go into captivity if they've died? You know what I'm saying? Because they come back. You know, you reincarnate, you come back in the flesh, and you're going to pay for those sins by the very thing we just read in the scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. They led into captivity. Now they have to go into captivity. So they're coming back, you know, to fulfill that, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is, again, is reincarnation, which is what these scriptures are talking about, man. You know, as a matter of fact, when you read this one, let's just read it. I've done it before. We'll do it again. Let's read this in the NLT. Right of the screen, through Ecclesiastes 3:15. What is happening now has happened before. And what will happen in the future has happened before, because the Most High makes the same things happen over and over again, because the same people coming back. You're going to be, if you wicked, if he created you to be the wicked or be wicked, you're going to always be that in all your different incarnations, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it is what it is. But things happen over and over again. That's the people coming back doing those same things. We just read it. Come on, man. You know, whatever is done is that which shall be done. And no new man under the sun. That's what that's going into, bro. So let's take the parallel off and keep it going. There's a few more scriptures I want to bring out. You know, so again, when you deal with all life on earth will not end, you know, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And the kingdom of heaven is dealing with eternity, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negro descent, man, who are the Israelites, man. You know, and of course we know the scattered seed that may not come looking like the average Israelite, you know, John Shaft or Shaq or Wesley Snipes. You know what I'm saying? So, as a matter of fact, let's go back to Isaiah real quick. Let's go back to Isaiah, the 45th chapter, because I wanted to make a point. We read verse 18. Yeah, and I'm going to read it again, Isaiah 45:18. For thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and there is none else. Well, that's going into the creation of the earth and it to be inhabited. So when you read the very verse above it, in verse 17, let's read this, because that's going into the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be right here on her earth. This is Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with an everlasting salvation. Everlasting salvation. Salvation is the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be right here on earth, which we'll get into, you know, but real quick, let's get this word everlasting real quick.
Everlasting. Everlasting.
So there it is, everlasting. And when you jump down, it says adjective, lasting forever or a very long time. In the similars, what do you see right there? Eternal.
Eternal. Eternal.
And that says lasting or existing forever, without end or beginning. So without end or beginning, eternity right there in the very next thing is noun. Number one, literally eternity. There you go. So that's what it's talking about, you know. So the coming kingdom, you know, when the Israel is saved, it's going to be an everlasting and eternal, never-ending salvation or kingdom, which is going to be right here on earth. It says, ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. And world is the people. So it says it right there, without end. We just read that in the definition of everlasting, man. You know, no end. You know what I'm saying? So there it is right there. So that's a world, the people, the Israelites of no end, you know, and they're going to be in salvation. So that this verse alone tells you and shows you that people are going to be on the earth, you know, eternity, you know. So that means no end. Even a billion years from now, the people, those same people are going to be here ruling the earth and the universe from here on, from forevermore, from henceforth, man. You know what I'm saying? So the AI technology is wicked as hell as well, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, you know, the kingdom of heaven is going to be right here on earth, baby. This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 10. This is the Lord's Prayer, you know. The Lord's Prayer, right here in the Lord's Prayer. What does it say? This is Matthew 6 and 10. It says, thy kingdom come. That's the kingdom of heaven. Salvation. That everlasting salvation. That's this right here. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So, boom, right there in the Lord's Prayer, it tells you where the kingdom of heaven is going to be right here on earth. And it's going to be, everything is going to get put back in its rightful order. You know what I'm saying? Here in the earth, you know, and the will of the Lord is going to be done in the earth as the will of the Lord is being done in the heavens. There's perfect righteousness and order in the heavens, man. And that's going to be established in the earth. So like by way of the rod, man. Psalms, the 2nd chapter, Revelation, the 2nd chapter, you know. So that's what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's get Matthew, the 5th chapter. And we're going to drop down to verse 5. Yahushua speaking here, and he's talking to the Israelites who are the low, the bottom of this society, man, the meek. It says, blessed, Matthew 5 and 5, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. They're going to inherit the earth because the earth is going to be inhabited, man. You know, it's their inheritance. You know, he's not going to destroy that. He told you in Isaiah 45 and 18 that he didn't create it in vain, man. You know what I'm saying? Not going to destroy it. Come on, bro. It's not what the Lord is about, but these people don't know the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going. It's Revelation chapter 5 and verse 10. And it reads, and has made us, the Israelites, unto our power, kings and priests, which is part of the blessings, the promises, and we shall reign on the earth. Did you hear that? And we shall reign on the earth. And reign is to rule a kingdom. The kingdom of heaven, thy kingdom come. Hello, the kingdom. A kingdom is reigned over, is ruled, you know. And who's going to rule that? You know what I'm saying? Our big brother Yahushua, when he returns. And in joint heir, Lord willing, I can be a part of that. Romans the 8th chapter and verse 17. You know what I'm saying? His elect. So let's end it on that. The 20th chapter, Revelations 20 and verse 4. And it reads, and I saw thrones, that's rulership, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. You know, that's the elect. You know what I'm saying? Bro, the judgment, bro, it's given to the elect, man. You know, those that's going to reign and rule with our big brother when he returns, man. That governing body, you know, spoken of in Isaiah the 9th chapter. It says, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, going into the martyrs. We're coming into these times right here. It says, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, you know, those 7,000 that didn't bow to the image of Baal, man. You know, it says, neither his image, there it is, neither had received his mark upon their forehead or in their hands, which is the charagma. You know, a lot of these groups are thrown off and bugged out right now. It says, and they lived and reigned to rule with Hamashiach 1,000 years, which that 1,000 years represents that first day of getting the earth back into its proper righteousness and order, you know, to beautify the earth again, man. Earth used to be Eden, man, before these devils got a hold of it. Well, earth is going to go back to being Eden again. You know what I'm saying? So that's that first 1,000 years or that first day of getting everything in proper order and getting these nations in order, getting the earth back in order, you know. And of course, that's the beginning of eternity, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says we're going to reign and rule right here on the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, in Daniel, the 4th chapter, the Lord tells you that he rules in the kingdom of men, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is right here on earth, man. Ain't no men ruling nothing nowhere else in the universe. They damn sure ain't ruling in the actual spirit realm with the Most High. They ain't ruling nothing. So he rules in the kingdom of men. So the kingdom of heaven is talking about right here on earth where a man rules. And you've seen that over the period of time throughout history, man. With the different rulers, man. That's ruled right now. Shit, Esau, he's ruling the earth right now, man. That's why Trump passing all these executive orders. He just passed an executive order to get these police basically exemption from they basically gonna be able to do what the hell they want to do, and they ain't gonna be able to be held accountable for it. You know what I'm saying? That's why he can deport, which he been deporting the Northern Kingdom, and he getting ready to start with you Southern Kingdom, you homegrown, man. All these things, reopening all these old prisons. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, dude, Jacob's trouble is upon us, bro. But the point is, these things are happening leading up to the kingdom of heaven, man, which is going to be right here on earth, and it's going to be eternal. So that whole thing with this AI, a billion years, and stop, bro. It's not happening, man. All life on earth will not end, thus saith the Lord. And we just brought the scriptures out proving that. So, F AI and this this whole system, man, and Esau as well, man, and may the Lord destroy this place soon, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahabakak, double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath Shal Dawadah Shalom.